be honest, like I don't really remember too much about Japan. I was born there, but I moved to New Jersey when I was like 4. Because my first language was Japanese, I didn't know English back then. So I found it really hard to like communicate with peers and make friends in the beginning. During preschool and kindergarten, I attended ESL or English as Second Language classes. And I really remember then like being one of the only Asians there. And I think then was kind of the first time I realized like I'm different compared to my peers. I think for me, the biggest thing was being too Japanese to feel American, while being too American to feel Japanese.
Being Asian American can be confusing, especially if you have multiple identities within it, but also where we stand in this country. My ethnic identity is Japanese, Filipino, American. I heavily identify with my Filipino identity as my mom was born in the Philippines and immigrated here versus my dad who was born and raised here in California. He's 3rd generation Japanese American, and so I'm 4th generation Japanese American, so I'm a little more distant from that culture. Another identity that I hold, I am a part of the LGBTQ community, and that's not something I've always talked about. I feel like there's a double standard within the Filipino community of we accept queer people for entertainment, but not in our personal lives. And clashing with a heavy, heavy religious background. And having Christianity so salient in the way that the Philippine society operates in comparison to a country like the United States is very scary. And especially for my mom being from the Philippines, I know that she loves me a lot, but it's always scary to, reveal that information. Not just because I don't know if my mom will accept me or not, but I don't know if the rest of the family will if she were to tell everyone else. But I think it also has kind of joined together in a way that is unique to me, being able to be queer, be Japanese American, being able to tell my story and be put into positions where I can be representation for people, I think has been so beautiful. It's me being here in current society is quote unquote not right, but I know I'm doing something right.
As for COVID, it all kind of happened very suddenly.
Why does that matter? Why is this a global competition to you if everyday Americans are still losing their lives and we're still seeing more cases every day?
Well, they're losing their lives everywhere in the world. And maybe that's a question you should ask China.
China is to blame because they're the culture where people eat bats, snakes, dogs, and things like that.
I can name Kung Flu. I can name 19 different versions of that.
I would like to begin by announcing some important developments in our war against the Chinese virus.
Think that Asians are being attacked. It's because of ignorance. One time I was going home from my lolo's house, and as he was saying goodbye to me and my parents, there was a man who came up to him and told him to go back to China. We're not even Chinese, but I guess to people who don't like Asians, everyone's the same. There was an incident where an elderly person was beaten up at Don Kanabe Park in Cerritos. My lolo goes on walks to the park every morning. And because of the rise of Asian hate, I'm always thinking about, he's just going about his day as normal, but what happens if there's just a bad person out there who wants to target elderly Asian people, When I see those stories of elderly Asian people being beaten up, being assaulted on the streets, it makes me think about my grandparents. I'm always concerned for them. In Filipino culture, family is everything. I feel like no matter what happens in life, my family has my back 100%. Sorry. I love my family so much. Sorry.
I'm very prideful of my family, and even though I live really far away from them and not really see them that much, I know that they always have my back. I am here in California studying broadcast journalism and documentary. They've been always there for me since day one, and they'll support me no matter what. So definitely pride for my family.
This is my family business, Mandarin Noodle House. We've been in operation since 1978. Currently, I'm the manager and third generation here at the restaurant. So my father started the restaurant in Northridge in 1982. Growing up was definitely different than most people. My parents would always be at work, didn't have the time to come pick me up, so I would always stay at least 3 hours after, so I'd get picked up at 5 o'clock. And then after school at 5 o'clock, we would go straight to the restaurant, and then I would do my homework in the kitchen while my parents were serving customers and cooking up food. My father passed away when I was 7 years old, so the main reason why I decided to do the restaurant business is because I want to carry on my father's legacy and finish the road he took. I'm always big on succeed silently, and I think Asians do that. You know, we're not flamboyant, we're not big talkers. We just persevere. You know, whatever comes any direction, we take it on the chin and we just keep going. You know, we don't complain. We may, but we move on. You know, so bring it on. I'm the proudest of my food, so if you want to see pride, come see me.
Asian is such a broad language to use to describe a group of people. But I feel like what kind of makes an Asian American experience is universal themes that we grew up with. We are always confused about our identity, really not knowing where to fit in. COVID-19 crisis really united us. Scared for our family, scared for our friends, scared for ourselves. I think one thing that we do have is pride.